Good morning, everybody. My name is Yomi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm wearing black and gray. I have short brown hair. I'm in my mid-40s, and this is my first time being service leader, so I'm super excited. Whether you are with us on site or on Zoom, and whether it is your first time here or one of many times, we are glad you are here with us today. We hope that you can stay for coffee or tea and conversation after the service. Also, today after the service, we'll gather for the monthly Friendly Feast potluck meal. You are all invited to stay for food and conversation, whether you brought food or not. We thank the membership committee for hosting today's meal. The chalice lighter in the sanctuary is Kathleen. Our chalice lighting words are by Reverend Anna Tulou, who also wrote today's sermon. The chalice is the vessel, capable of holding all that we put into it, capable of holding all that we are and everything we bring with us into the space, the community. The flame is that which arises within and is called from us as a result of gathering in this community. It is the manifestation of our Unitarian Universalist values in the world, a living theology of love, as expressed through justice, equity, generosity, pluralism, interdependence, and transformation.
It is so nice to be with you. I'm Colin. I help with our children's program here. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a balding guy in my 30s with a pink shirt and black pants, and very happy to be here to share a story with you. Jennifer Dunn, I just want to show some appreciation for her. She finds these stories for us, and they are so good. So, this story is called How I Learned Geography. It's by Uri Shulevitz, and he's going to tell a story from his own childhood. He was a child in Poland during World War II, which was a crazy time to be in Poland because a war started, and his family had to flee from Poland all the way to Kazakhstan. That's a long ways away. If you had to walk there, it would take you a whole month. So, I'm excited to share this story with you. I'm excited to see if I can see the words at the same time. Okay, perfect. When war devastated the land, buildings crumbled to dust. Everything we had was lost, and we fled empty-handed. We traveled far, far east to another country where summers were hot and winters were cold. To a city of houses made of clay, straw, and camel dung, surrounded by dusty steps burned by the sun. We lived in a small room with a couple we did not know. We slept on a dirt floor. I had no toys and no books. Worst of all, food was scarce. One day, father went to the bazaar to buy bread. As evening approached, he hadn't returned. Mother and I worried. We were hungry. It was nearly dark when he came home. He carried a long roll of paper under his arm. "I bought a map," he announced excitedly. Where's the bread?" Mother asked. "I bought a map," he said again. Mother and I said nothing. I had enough money to buy only a tiny piece of bread, and we would still be hungry, he explained apologetically. "No supper tonight," Mother said bitterly. "We'll have the map instead." I was furious. I didn't think I would ever forgive him. And I went to bed hungry while the couple we lived with ate their supper. The husband was a writer. He wrote in silence, but oh, how loudly he chewed. He chewed a small crust of bread with such enthusiasm as if it were the most delicious morsel in the world. I envied him his bread and wished I were the one chewing it. I covered my head with my blanket so I would not hear him smacking his lips with such delight. The next day, Father hung the map. It took up an entire wall. Our cheerless room was flooded with color. I became fascinated by the map and spent long hours looking at it, studying it in every detail, and many days drawing it on any scrap of paper that came my way. I found strange-sounding names on the map and savored their exotic sounds, making a little rhyme out of them. Fukuoka Takaoka Omsk, Fukuyama Nagayama Tomsk, Okasaki Miyazaki Pinsk, Pennsylvania Transylvania Minsk. I repeated this rhyme like a magic incantation and was transported far away without ever leaving our room. I landed in burning deserts. I ran on beaches and felt their sand between my toes. I climbed snowy mountains where icy winds licked my face. I saw wondrous temples where stone carvings danced on the walls and birds of all colors sang on the rooftops. I passed through fruit groves, eating as many papaya and mangoes as I wanted. I drank fresh water and rested in the shade of palm trees. I came to a city of tall buildings and counted zillions of windows, falling asleep before I could finish. And so I spent enchanted hours far, far from our hunger and misery. And I forgave my father. He was right, after all. All right. Anyone who wants to join us downstairs for some more wiggle room is welcome to, and we'll sing On Our Way while we exit the room. Thank you, everyone.
prelude is here in the silence with music by F. Fleming, performed by Eva. Our words of invitation today are How to Survive the Apocalypse by Sean Parker Dennison. First, learn to listen, not only for enemies around corners and hidden places, but for the faint footsteps of hope and the whisper of resistance. Hone your skills, aim your heart towards kindness, and stockpile second chances. Under the weight of destruction, we will need the strong shelter of forgiveness and the deeper wells that give the sweet water of welcome. We have a place for you. When the world ends, we must not add destruction to destruction, not accept a beggar's bargain, to fight death with more death. In order to survive the apocalypse, any apocalypse at all, we must have to give up the counterfeit currency of self-sufficiency, the mistaken addiction of competition, the lie that the last to die has somehow survived. Our hymn of the month for January is Lift Every Voice and Sing. The lyrics are drawn from a poem of the same title by James Weldon Johnson, who was a writer, attorney, diplomat, professor, and poet. The poem was first recited by school children as part of a birthday commemoration of Abraham Lincoln. It was later set to the music using a tune created by Johnson's brother, J. Rosamond Johnson. The words were so resonant that Lift Every Voice and Sing came to be known as the national anthem for Black Americans. Let us now sing together, Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's number 149 in the gray hymnal. The words will be on the screens, and you are welcome to stand or remain seated as we sing.
Hello, I'm Millie. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a member of the Pastoral Care Circle. Today I'm wearing a lot of brown, and I have on a plaid jacket that has brown, gray, tan, and white. As a community, we share joys and concerns to keep connected. Slips of paper are available at the greeters table for those in the sanctuary to use for joys and concerns. During the week, you may send your joys and concerns by email to pastoralcare@springfielduu.org or by leaving a voicemail on the church phone 417-883-3922. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat box now for sharing your joys and concerns. All of these joys and concerns will be included in the members' email on Tuesday. We honor each joy or concern with a lighted candle, a symbol of the love we as a community offer for each of these joys and concerns. This morning, Kathleen will be lighting the candles. And now, as we begin this time of sharing, know that though we are in multiple physical spaces, we are together in beloved community. To begin, we hold in love all of us, those present and those absent. We light a candle for our church community. We have a concern from Dacia. Two concerns. Nick, the husband of a dear friend and neighbor, died on January 1st. And a very dear friend, Kristen Saladay, died yesterday morning, January 3rd. We light a candle of sorrow and memory for Nick, and also a different one for Kristen and their family and friends. We have a joy from Mark McGinn, joy of having spent Christmas with our grandchildren in California, and a joy to be back home. We have a joy from Skylar. He says, December 30th was my daughter Ellie's birthday. She's 10. I'm so proud of her. We'll see what's on the chat box. We have a concern from Steve. Persistent bronchitis since Christmas Eve is still with me. Maybe Steve Samuelson. We have some Steves, several. We honor the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world. We light a candle for all who are impacted. In closing, for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken in our hearts, we light a candle. May we hold each of these joys and concerns in our hearts and minds. May our community of love ease sorrow and boost celebration. Let us now join together in 1 minute of shared silence, followed by Spirit of Life. Sorry.
This makes it easier being in the choir right here and jumping right over. All right, I'm going to do the week of January 4th in UU history. We will actually go back to last week for this one, to January 1st. Charles Chauncey was born in Boston on January 1st, 1705. His accomplishments may include the longest title ever given to a book. He was the son of a prominent family of distinguished educators and Unitarian clergy. He entered Harvard University at the age of 12 and studied theology. He was the minister of First Church in Boston, later Unitarian, for 60 years. Chauncey wrote several influential books, including the 1743 book, Seasonable Thoughts on the State of Religion in New England, in which he opposed the Great Awakening revival movement of Jonathan Edwards. In 1784, he published My Mystery Hid from the Ages of Generations, Made Manifest by the Gospel Revelations, or The Salvation of All Men, the Grand Things Aimed at the Scheme of God. Throughout his 60 years of ministry, Chauncey championed Unitarian, presented Universalist views, and questioned the doctrine of the Trinity. He died in 1787 at the age of 82. The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts, freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offerings help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to empower our mission. Rooted in love and guided by reason, we are welcoming Unitarian Universalist community that nurtures personal and spiritual growth and advocates for equity and justice in the world. If electronic giving is your preferred method, or if you are on Zoom, virtual giving options are available both for pledges and for a staffed gift via our website, springfielduu.org. The offertory is A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke, performed by Steve Breedlove and the choir.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Schlunz. I am a 63-year-old female, and I have blonde hair. Today I'm wearing a velvety shirt that's green and maroon. I am a member of the Director of Religious Education Search Committee. You may hear the director role abbreviated as DRE. Our committee is excited to begin our search and hope to gather information from all of you about your hopes and dreams for this position and the person who will fill it. The other members of the committee include Colin Jensen, Neil Richardson, and Jennifer Sizemore. During our friendly feast today, there will be an opportunity to start the conversation about what we're looking for in a DRE. Look for a survey in a few weeks where we invite your input on our new DRE. Our theme for the month of January is resistance. Today's message invites us to think about the importance of education as a tool in our resistance. The first time I read the message, I cried. I think you'll find it timely. The message I'll read now is Love Plus Apocalypse by Reverend Anna Tulou, who is an assistant minister at First Unitarian Universalist in Richmond, Virginia. They can't steal my joy. That's the mantra I've been repeating since a gathering of religious professionals a year ago in which Reverend Viola Abbott declared in glad defiance, "They can't steal my joy." Her words rang in my brain and in my bones, and that carried me through last January, through most of the first 2 weeks of the current administration. A couple of weeks later, in the early part of February, I took my older boys to see one of those big touring Broadway musicals. It was a great show. The kids had a blast, as you can imagine. I love theater, and I too admired the talented singers and dancers, the production, the story, but I found myself holding back from the poignancy and exuberance, which is not normal for me. Then, on the drive home, my hands on the steering wheel, the world seemed to dim, and the weight of those first 2 weeks, the heaviness of them came down on me all at once. Well, I'm going to have to go off of this script because my script is somehow messed up. All right, sorry, let me find my place. The heaviness of them came down on me all at once. The fear and anger and despair and violence of so many. Do you remember the frantic pace of that first month? The first 100 days? The whole past year, for that matter? My spirit felt like a butterfly pinned to a board, and I realized with horror, they stole my joy. They stole my joy. I took a breath and clutched the steering wheel. Once that initial moment of shock passed, I began questioning my own claim, holding it up against my core beliefs. Is that true? Did they steal my joy? And an answer came. No one can steal my joy. No one gave me joy. Joy is an expression of love, and love cannot be forced nor taken. I had lost my sense of connection to it. I had been overwhelmed by a flood of political actions designed to overwhelm, and I had lost my mooring. But no one had taken it. No one can take it. Joy is ours to choose, to nourish, and protect. There are times when joy comes easy, and there are times when protecting our connection to it is an act of fierce defiance. A second perspective shift followed, so hold that steering wheel moment in your mind. We will come back to that, but first I want to name something. Everything I just said, my beliefs about the nature of joy and love, the process of questioning and challenging myself, this is theology. This is theology, and theology has never been more important than it is today in this moment. Stay with me, friends. Theology is a loaded word, and I have often heard folks say that you has no theology. Today is the day that I'm calling that baloney. We often don't use the word theology because it sounds too theistic for many of us who are non-theists. Yes, taken literally, theology means talking about God, but our faith tradition today doesn't center on deity. Instead, we center love. So what if theology for us is not talking about God, but about that which we worship, about that which is held at the center, love? What if theology is not simply talk, but theology is a practice of infinite play, which we explore, challenge, and most importantly, live relationally through our actions? Unitarian Universalists don't have theology. We are challenged to live our theology. And our theology is not for the faint of heart. Now, I've heard a criticism of love at the center, that love is too nebulous, too hard to define, too intangible, and open to interpretation to be at the core of our tradition. So let's do some theological reflection about love. I want you to listen to these questions and statements and really turn them over for yourself. Notice where you experience resistance, where you experience confusion or curiosity, and where you experience resonance or relief. What is love? What does that word mean to you? Is it just roses and candy and romantic stuff? Is it sentimentality or warm, fuzzy feelings? Is it thoughts and prayers, a practice of gratitude? Is it service and co-liberation? Bell Hooks taught that love is critical for any social justice movement and agreed with M. Scott Peck's definition of love as the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Is love, as Valerie Carr put it, a form of sweet labor, fierce, bloody, imperfect, and life-giving? Is love a noun or is love a verb, an action? How is love-centering theology transformed depending on one's understanding of what love is? I told you earlier that theology has never been more important than it is today. I mean that, and not just because of the violence and harm being perpetrated and shaped by oppressive theologies. I mean it because if you want to change the world, if you want to actively participate in the healing of what is torn and broken in America today, You must take your own theology seriously. Ruby Sales, that wise leader in the civil rights movement, talked about the prayers, songs, the religious community itself and its traditions, these expressions of theology, as the armor that her generation wore when they went out to fight for justice. The theology and the community that lived that theology together helped to keep them whole. But the next generation to take up that fight for justice, many had distanced themselves from religion, and Sales worried for them. We sent our children out into the empire without their armor on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Theology and the community that lives and plays theologically together is the armor that can keep our spirits whole. If you hearken back to our opening words, the words of Sean Parker Dennison, this is the armor that can help us not just survive, but thrive. Even and especially when our beloveds, our families, our neighbors, and ourselves are being threatened or attacked, even when it feels like apocalypse. Even when it feels like apocalypse. Because here's the thing that I bet Valerie Carr knows, that Sean Parker Dennison knows, and that I want you to know. Apocalypse does not mean the end of the world. That's a more recent simplification of its meaning. Apocalypse means revelation. Apocalypse means that things that were hidden are now uncovered. That revelation can be frightening and painful, but the thing that has been revealed is not new. It was there all along, yes? Some of us were more aware of it than others, but now that it is no longer hidden, it is out in the open. Which means now we can examine it, now we can plan, now we can put on our armor for the work ahead, questioning through our every impulse and action, what does it mean to hold love at the center? Only then can we engage with wisdom in the deep work of healing to which I do believe we are called, to bring love from a nebulous, intangible concept to a very tangible presence in the world. Unitarian Universalist theology, a lived theology that centers revolutionary love, is not for the faint of heart. It dares us not to respond to hate with hate, but to dig deeper into wonder, to remember the inherent worth of every being, even and especially when it is not easy, when we disagree, when we are angry or afraid. Harder still, it dares us to love the opponent, even as we struggle and organize against policies and transgressions, to say, you are a part of me I do not yet know. It dares us to honor our anger by not letting anger turn to hate, to poison, to honor it, for that anger is born from a desire to protect that which we love. It dares us to create and protect space for our connection to and expression of joy, just as we create and protect space for our expressions of lament, because both lament and joy are essential expressions of love. It dares us to be willing to risk our own safety, security, and comfort, because as my dear friend Reverend Samara Powers says, you are only as safe as the people you are willing to protect. I propose that to live our theology in this way means sometimes risking everything except our spirits. That is what our armor, our theology, protects. All right, let's return to that steering wheel moment, that car ride where I found myself saying, "They stole my joy?" My first theological challenge and correction of myself was that no one can steal my joy. Joy cannot be stolen, nor can it be forced. My connection to joy is not dependent upon another person nor their actions. But I didn't stop there. I kept going, and I found a second, more challenging theological correction. Even using the word they stole my joy, drew a line between myself and them. That line of separation was born of my own distress, fear, grief, anger, all of which were born from love. Yet that line meant I stopped seeing them as connected, as part of me, inhibiting love. And that too is part of the challenge of this theology. Even as I resist the harm, the injustice, so too must I resist the impulse toward othering. My resistance comes from love, and I do not want my resistance to become an impediment to love. This theology is how I keep my spirit whole, how I resist sinking into despair or hate. In the beloved community, there is no them. There are no walls or circles dividing us. That is revolutionary love. Unitarian Universalism is a non-creedal religion, and so as a UU minister, I am not going to tell you what to believe or what to do. Each of you must wrestle with what you believe and how willing you are to live out those beliefs. And in what ways? We are not all called to believe the same things, nor to make the same choices. Also, I am never going to tell you that everything is going to be okay. But I will tell you this. We will get through this apocalypse, this revelation, and any other apocalypse that comes along. We will get through it together. And if we put on our armor and ground ourselves in our beliefs, individually and in community, if we challenge ourselves to an integrity and alignment of belief and action grounded in love, then we will get through this with our spirits intact. I close with apocalyptic words from Adrienne Marie Brown. Things are not getting worse. They are getting uncovered. We must hold each other tight and continue to pull back the veil. Let's do this. Amen. Ashe, blessed be. The interlude is Prelude in C by J.S. Bach, performed by Eva.
All right, we have learned or been reminded today that apocalypse is not the end, but a revelation. It is an invitation to see clearly, to question deeply, and to love fiercely. This is the heart of liberal religious education and the root of our resistance. So let us keep listening for the faint footsteps of hope. Let us hold each other tight as we learn how to build a better world together. Our final song today is Building Bridges. It's number 1023 in the teal hymnal, so make sure that's the teal hymnal, not the gray, and it's Around. The words will be on the screens, and Paul will give us directions. You may sit or stand to sing, and you may remain standing after the song for our chalice extinguishing and unison sending words.
What we're going to do is sing it all the way through one time, and we're going to divide the round up into two parts. This is part number one, and John will be leading you. This is part number two. We'll be singing it over here. We're going to do it 3 times after we sing it all together once, for a total of 4.
Real quick, I have some announcements that were presented a little later. So let's see. Okay, Becca Gray needs help Sunday, January 11th at 5 p.m. at UU to prepare and distribute dinner to the homeless. This shelter is expected to be open and will serve 200 plus guests. I have her number if you are interested. And another announcement, the celebration of life for Bud Waller will be Saturday, January 10th here at First UU at 11 a.m. I know this is kind of going off course, but I thought of a joy while I was sitting down and while they were talking about joy. I think it is so amazing that the Buddhist monks are walking for peace, and it's just amazing and just really moving. So something we really need. Just want to throw that out there. Okay. We will now extinguish our communal and personal chalices and close with our unison sending words. Our service here is ending. Our service to the world begins anew. And don't forget, we have our friendly feast. We're going to set up tables over here. So stay for food. There's enough for everybody.